Welcome everyone. I'm Dory Sukup with a great presentation for you today to help you assess your business and to scale up. So are you ready? You should have your document, the business assessment. Those of you who are members, you can access that on medspa Biz University. If you are not a member, which we're doing this as a special presentation for you as well to join us today. This is something that we have never done before. So this is what we call Brewing Brilliance, where monthly I get on a presentation like this with all of our members and share content to help them grow their business. So this is the first time ever that we've actually opened it up to non-members, just to give you a little taste of what it's like to be part of the community, of the inspiration management community. So today we're going to talk about how to assess your business and how to scale up. As a matter of fact, scaling up is the theme of the year. That's what we want to do here at Inspiration Management and MD Business Advisors, is to arm you with all the tools necessary to help you grow your business. So for the next hour, I'm going to go over some strategies on exactly how to help you do that. So I would recommend you getting actually a pen and a paper. If you've already printed out your assessment, you should have it handy. If not, it's okay. You can always come back on this presentation because we do put it on medspa Biz University, so you can actually have it and be able to use it at any time. Actually, those of you who are members, you have this two ways. You have it electronically, or you also have it as a PDF if you want to download it and actually fill out the information inside it. So today we're going to talk about 5 things. We're going to start out with assessing your financial health to see how healthy your business is and whether you are really in the black. Now, if you have not received my new book yet, you really should, because it's all about how to take your business in the black, and that means you are super profitable. So that's really what financial health is all about. So we're going to go into that. Then the next thing we're going to assess is your marketing, to see whether really your marketing is working for you and what can you do to actually scale it up so you have more traffic. Better yet, you have the affluent traffic that I talk about all the time, because not all traffic is created equally. And then we're going to dive into sales. That's probably one of the biggest challenges most of you have, and that is sales. How do we create revenue? How do we generate revenue within your facility? And then we're going to wrap up with team skills and the next steps. Now, of course, this business assessment that we're giving away to everybody, it's actually quite extensive. It's, how many pages is it? I think it's like 20-some pages, right? Does it have page numbers? Of course, it doesn't have page numbers on my version, but it's really extensive. And I would highly recommend you start by assessing your business. Now, since we have some new members with us, as well as other members from the community here, if you don't know who I am, you can always Google me, or you can go to inspirationmanagement.com and find out a little bit more about myself and my team and how we make transformations in people's businesses. But the most important thing really you should have is my newest book. We just launched it a couple of months ago. It's called Medical Aesthetics Success, Your Business in the Black, as I just mentioned. And we are doing a book gathering actually starting in February, where I'm going to take chapter by chapter and discuss the book with you to help you implement it even a little bit better and discover all the strategies that we talk about. And I also have a couple of shows I want you to make sure that you sign up for. One is the Dory Talks. If you go to YouTube, to the Inspiration Management YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch monthly that show that we do for you, again, to help you with your business. And then we have the Meet the Expert show that we invite people to come and be interviewed by me so we can help position you as the experts that you are. So if you'd like to be on the show, please write to us. You can apply on meettheexperts.com, and that way we can reach out to you and get you registered. So now the gift I'm offering for those of you who are not part of our membership, I'm giving you the assessment totally complimentary. And I'm also giving you a copy of the book, totally complimentary. So all you have to do is go to medicalaestheticssuccess.com and you'll be able to get both of them. So there you go. We're starting off the year right, aren't we? Yes. All right, so turn off all distraction and stay with me for the next hour. Actually, I'm doing 2 presentations back to back. Yes, I'm crazy. And I just finished 5 high achiever coaching calls. So, whew, it's been a busy day, needless to say. But let's go ahead and dive in. I have so much great content to share with you. Now, if you're on Zoom with us, you can submit your questions, or if you're on Instagram or Facebook Live, we're actually doing this all over the place today to really help people start the year off right. It's our contribution back. We had such a great year last year. We have to share back with everyone. So that's really our gift to you. So I want to start with this statement. A lot of people ask sometimes, how do we do this? And that's part of the puzzle on how you scale. But I want you to think of 2 words, not only how, it's how and who. There's 2 things we really need to focus on. So who's going to help you scale? And how are you going to scale? So those are 2 very important words I want you to really think about today as we're going through all this. And the other thing I want you to think about is just because you're a new business doesn't mean you don't have anything to assess. So don't discount the power of this document. If you're a brand new business, then you need to forecast your success. If you're an existing business, then of course you need to go back. You need to assess, see what you did great, and what you need to improve on. So those are the 2 different things that you need to do. But then this statement here is so important. I want you to realize that if you want to scale up, you've got to have a good team to be able to do it. You can't scale up alone because there's only so many hours in the day, there's only you, and you won't have any who to help you. So you really need both. You need how to scale up, and then who is going to help you scale up. Those are very important factors that you need to look at and decide how you can really grow your business and scale it up to where you want to scale it up to. So please remember that as we're going through this information, because I don't want you to feel overwhelmed, because a lot of people tell me, oh my gosh, I'm just so overwhelmed. No, you're overwhelmed because you don't have the who with you. If you have the who is going to help you, then you're not going to be overwhelmed. And that's really what growth and scaling is all about. And that's really why we're here today. So let's start with assessing your financials, right? So the first thing you really need to do is realize your goals, your vision, your targets. I'm amazed how many times I'm talking to people, they're new clients to us, and they really don't know their numbers. To succeed, you've got to know your numbers. You got to know what you did in the past and what you want to do in the future. So those are very, very important things. And I also want you to clarify your vision. As a matter of fact, the very first 3 chapters of the new book is all about the mindset, how you think about your business, how you think about your life, what type of life you really want, and then the vision for your life. And this is the same thing. It's a vision for your life and your business. And when you have that clear and you can share it with the team, then it makes life a lot easier. As a matter of fact, on all of my high achiever calls today, this is exactly what we talked about. We talked about forecasting. And again, all of you members who are with us, you have access to this module where you determine how much traffic you're going to have month by month by month, how much revenue you want to generate by each source of your actual business. So having clarity on those numbers and then breaking them down by department and by team member, That's the only way you're going to scale and have a financially healthy business. That's really the only way. So I really want to encourage you to take the time to really assess your actual business. Now, here's the reality of it all, you guys. Growing a business and scaling it is very easy. There's only 3 things that you can do to truly grow and scale. Number 1 is you have to increase the number of visitors, your traffic. You need more traffic if you want to increase your business. That's plain and simple. The second thing is you need to increase the size of each transaction. And I talk about this all the time. Increasing your volume per guest. Remember, VPG. When you increase your VPG, you can't help but succeed. You're going to generate more revenue. More revenue equals more profits. The third is increasing the frequency of visits. And we do that by having what? A membership program. And that's what we're always teaching you to do. And if you don't have a membership program, you're totally missing out on growth and scaling. So you got to focus on these 3 things to have a healthy business. And when you do, you're waking up in the morning and you're thinking and you're asking yourself these things all the time, and you're focusing on that as well with your team, then everybody knows what we're trying to do, and success is really within your reach. So I want to share with you the rule of 40. What is that? With every business, as a matter of fact, John from Air Medical Spa was just asking me, well, what is a good profit margin for a good, successful medical spa? Well, truly, to be successful, and if it's a standalone business, you should really profit between 15 to 20%. Well, I would like you to profit at least 20%, and then I'd like you to have 20% growth. When you focus on these 2 things, you're going to really scale up your business. Now, we have people, when you first open, your growth rate is even more than that. I'm talking about a good, mature business. Because those of you who are brand new, you're going to experience a lot of growth very fast because you're going to improve very quickly. And that's really what you should do. But for a business that's been open for a while, I really would love for you to get to that 20% growth and 20% profit. And that's really what scaling is all about. You guys agree? Yeah. All right. So let's talk a little bit about the scorecard. Now, measuring is key. Talking about financial health. You're not going to know if you're healthy or not if you're not paying attention to your financial ratios. You got to know, what is your product cost? What is your employee cost, your payroll? What is your expenses, overall operating expenses? How much are you profiting? If you're not looking, and believe me, I hear this all the time, I don't have P&L statements. Like, how can you be in business and not have P&L statements? You can't, because you don't have a scorecard. The scorecard should include your P&L, know your expenses, know your revenue per guest, your key performance indicators that you hear me talk about all the time. You gotta know the value per employee. How much is each employee giving you in value? I'm gonna give you some more tips on that in just a second. And then the overall traffic, sales, and profits. You gotta know all these numbers. You really should monitor those on a daily basis. Because if you get the P&L statement at the end of the month and you didn't make any money, it's too late to do anything about it. You should know what to expect from the P&L statement before it comes to you at the end of the month. And when you do that, now you have a healthy business because you're able to pivot, innovate, change, adapt, make some new strategies to help you lift up the month before the month is all over with. So assessing your financial health is key. So what I would recommend to everyone is take the budget file. You should be doing your forecasting and your budgeting on an annual basis. We just did this with many of the high achievers I've been speaking with. some of them did not have a budget for last year, so we did the budget for last year based on the numbers that they had. And then we're going to forecast the 2020 rule, the 40 rule, into the new year so we can at least grow at that rate. And ideally, we want to go beyond. And that's really what I would like you to do. With the financial assessment here, this is time consuming. This is not an easy task, I know. And some of you are going to look at it and say, oh my gosh, that's a lot of information I need to come up with. But you've got to do it. If you don't do it, you're not going to know what you need to improve or to forecast accurately. So I highly recommend doing this assessment. Sit down, get a tea or a coffee or whatever it is that you like to drink, and sit down and really do it. And that's what it takes to succeed. So I want to share with you a quick little success story. So this is Brooke. She manages Med Aesthetics that's owned by Melissa and Dr. Omani. They're a medical aesthetics facility up in Canada, in a small little town. So they bought this little medical spa from somebody who was ready to hang it up. They were not really very successful. As a matter of fact, if you can go to YouTube at some point, there's an interview that I did with them from the last mastermind meeting, and they shared their success story with all of our members. So they bought this place in the middle of the shutdown. They hired, everybody was laying people off, they were hiring people. So they were selecting those who that's going to help them reach their success. So they hired all these people and they put them through 8 weeks of medical medspa Biz University training for all the modules that we have on the university. And watch the interview. This is exactly what they're telling everybody. So they opened. They launched the membership program like we suggest, and they have now over 400 members, paying them hundreds of dollars a month, and they have a growth rate of 20%, and they finished the year a little bit over $3 million. Is that success? And this is somebody that opened up in the middle of the pandemic. Did he have a plan? He had a plan. He found the who. In this case, I was his who to help him. So who is your who that's going to help you, right? And the MedSpa Biz University was his how. And that's really what it takes to succeed. So you need both, your who and your how. And when you do that and you stick to the plan, as a matter of fact, part of the interview, he says, all you have to do is listen to what you learn in MedSpa Biz University and apply it. That's all you have to do and you will succeed. So if they can do it in this little town and do over $3 million in sales, imagine what you can do. No excuses, you guys. Everything is possible. You just have to know how to do it. The other thing they did right is, I'm always telling you, you need to hire your own marketing person. You know, in your organizational structure, you need to have your marketing department, your sales department, your providers, your operational department, your training department. Those are all very crucial parts of the business. So I hear so many people spending thousands of dollars on marketing and they're not even tracking. Like, why would you do that? Why would you spend thousands of dollars on marketing and not even know what your client acquisition cost is? Do you know what that is? If you do this assessment, I'm going to force you to know what it is because it's one of the exercises you have to do. So not all marketing is created equally. Let's face it, what you offer is not cheap. It takes an affluent client or somebody who's at least somewhat comfortable to be able to afford what you offer. So we really need to focus on this affluent client. And those of you who are members, you have access to the Millionaire Circle modules. It's right there on MedSpa Biz University. If you have not watched it in a while, I highly recommend and go watch all the modules so you can start attracting the affluent people that can afford what you have to offer. So please study. You have to study. That's why it's called a university. You can't just watch something once and forget about it. You need to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it until it's really digested, and make sure that you implement it properly. And that's really what it takes to succeed. You gotta make the commitment. You gotta make the commitment. So if we're talking about marketing assessment, I want you to map this out. How do clients happen in your business? Like, how do people find out about you? Map it out. I want you to take a bunch of sticky notes and literally map it out all over the place. Do they find you on the website? Do they find you on social media? Are they finding you through a Facebook campaign? How do they happen? You need to map it out and assess what is working and what is not. And what's working, keep doing more of it. And if it's not, change it. You can't just do the same thing if it's not working. What is that definition? Insanity, right? Repeating the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. Can't do that. The other thing I want you to really pay attention to, excuse me, and assess is your offers. How many of you actually do a marketing campaign and you have like 10,000 offers on there? Less is more. Focus on one offer at a time. I had one of our members send me their marketing campaign the other day. And we even have samples on how to do them, and they still like pay attention. So they had like 10 offers on this ad in a magazine that they put out. You don't need 10 offers. You need one. Let's test it. See what's bringing us back. And then make another offer. Have your call to action. But you need to know what these enticing offers are that generate affluent leads for you. Again, use the assessment. Find out what's working and what's not. The other thing is the how, lead process into the clients. You generate the lead, then a lot of people don't even have a process on how to convert the lead into a client. What is that process? And again, I was doing one of my calls today, and that's exactly what we were talking about. They just hired this new guest relations team, and they were telling me, I don't know how long I can afford to keep her because she's expensive. Well, she should be paying for herself. That's the value that I talk about in employees bringing you revenue. She should be doing outgoing calls, incoming calls, converting leads into consultations, converting consultations into clients, promoting membership program. So I don't see the team as a cost if they're bringing you value. If they're not bringing you value, then yes, they are a cost, and you probably should get rid of them. They're not the right who for you. So keep that in mind and make sure you're always having those processes and systems in place, and always, always, always measure. Because if you measure, you're going to be a lot better off. Then the who, so this was the how. Remember, we're going to focus on two words today, who and how. So the who, I don't know why we have so many airplanes going by. So the who is in charge of marketing. Every business needs to have a person who is in charge of marketing. Who's coming up with the strategies? Who's helping you generate leads? That person should be the person thinking every single day, how am I going to generate more leads for my business? That's what that marketing person should be doing for you. And the more leads you generate, the more successful you're going to be. Because remember, one of the 3 ways to grow your business is increasing your traffic. And if you don't increase your traffic, you're not going to increase your business. You won't scale and you won't grow. So marketing is key. Very, very important component. So scaling up your marketing, what you need to do, here's your solution. So do the who. So these are the first 2 things in our business model that we teach. So the first step in the business model on medspa Biz University is marketing, generating leads, and then converting the leads into a consultation. You gotta do that. Those leads are golden nuggets. And if they're just being wasted, you're waiting for them to call you, that's not being proactive. Not being proactive. So the who, you need to hire an internal marketing person. And then the how much traffic do you really need? Again, part of your assessment is realizing how much traffic we need every single month for the whole year for us to achieve a certain amount of revenue. So that's how you scale up your marketing. So focus on these two things here. Go watch the Millionaire Circle. If you're not a member with us today, you can gain access to the Millionaire Circle by going to the shop. It's on demand, so you'll be able to go and watch it, how to attract affluent people and then convert them into great clients. So those are the things that I really can help you with. Now, forecasting the traffic is easy because on this here, the forecasting budget, again, you have access to all of this. Here's what I meant by month by month by month. You need to know how much traffic is needed. Then I want you to take this number and divide it by the number of days that you are open. That way you know exactly how much traffic is needed on a daily basis. So again, if you have any questions as we're going through, make sure you go ahead and submit it in so we can answer your questions. So make sure you do this process and then share it with the team. All right, so assessing your marketing effort. We can't talk about marketing without really looking at your positioning. That's another conversation I was having today. Do you want to be the cheapest person in town? Or do you want to be the middle? Or do you want to be the high end? Positioning is very important. So I want you to also assess that. So again, in this assessment file, you have the opportunity to see your competition, see what they're doing, not to copy what they're doing, but just to be aware of what you need to do to beat them and crush them and be the only choice. And that's really what positioning is all about. You need to be the only choice and the best choice for consumers. So are you that? If you are, congratulations. If you're not, you really need to improve your positioning. Look at your menu, look at your facility, look at your team, look at how they present themselves. Those guest experiences are very, very valuable. All right, here's my favorite topic, assessing your sales process. Now that we generated the lead, how do we convert them? And that's where most people in our industry fall short because not many people like to sell anything. Anything. But you know what? We can't have a business without selling. So you need to have a sales process. Again, who and how. Who's helping you sell and how are they helping you? You need to have that figured out before you can scale and grow. Now, in the model that we teach, your sales happen, your big sales happen in two main areas. And that is the get to know you consultation, because that's when you customize a program that's leading to thousands of dollars. So that's big sales, high ticket sales. And then your membership. Two main areas. Now, it doesn't mean you can't sell in other places, but these are your big hubs, your big sales. And that's what makes you scale. If you focus on the consultation and on your membership, just those two things alone will help you get to that 40 rule we talked about. Isn't that what you want? It's what I want for you. So to scale up your sales, you need a sales team. And that's what your guest relations team is all about, or a call center. In our last mastermind meeting, I went over the whole process and how to set up a call center. So that's your sales center. So people can be converted from lead to a sale. But if there's nobody in charge of that, there's no who, in that sales department, then you're not going to sell. You're just going to be creaming. You're going to be taking all the laydowns, basically, the people that are already buying. It takes selling to actually produce results. So you need to really do that. So the sales, you need the sales team, you need the sales process, and you need that scorecard. If we see that the marketing department is generating leads, but we're not converting on the leads because your sales team is not selling, then something is wrong. Something is not working. We need to fix it. And that's what the scorecard is all about. You need to be monitoring how many leads are coming in, how many of those leads are you converting into a consultation, and how many of those consultations are you converting into thousands of dollars, and how many of those experiences that you're delivering are going to convert into a VIP member. That's keeping up a scorecard. And if you don't have scorecards in place, you're not serious about business. You're winging it. Can't wing it. Can't wing it. So you need to also have multiple revenue streams. So I talked about the consultation with high ticket programs, right? So think of your business as two branches. You have brand new clients that you need to sell those customized programs to, and then you have a repeat client that should become a member, right? So two really avenues. So your consultation is your high ticket program initially, and then you have your VIP membership, and then you have your online shop, and then you have your retail sales and upgrade opportunities. So money should be coming in from all these areas. And if they're not coming in from all these areas, then your sales process is broken. You got to fix it, right? And that's how you fix it. Again, you have the who and the how. You need to teach the team on how to sell, and then you need to identify who's going to be doing the selling. And when you figure that out, you can scale and grow. So sales should be a big focus in this year for you, because let me tell you, business these days is a lot harder than it was. It really does. You have severe competition. There's a medical spa on every corner now, right? You know there is. And there's only few affluent people around. So it's either you're going to be successful by attracting those people, or you're going to be a basement type of facility and charge cheap prices and not make as much money. So you got to have different revenue streams. It's very, very important for you to do that. So to scale up your sales, you need to have your sales center. You need to have a sales department, right? So they're doing incoming and outgoing calls. You have to hire a person that's doing just consultations all day long. I've been saying that for I don't know how long. Some of you listen, congratulations, and some of you are dragging your feet on that. But if you truly set up a consultation room in your place and you have a person doing consultations all day long, you will grow and scale your business way beyond your imagination. Way beyond. You have your member enrollment process, so your team needs to know how to do that. And then you have your volume per guest scorecard, right? And you need to publish that daily, just like they do in sports. You gotta know what everybody is doing. It's no secrets. There's no secrets. Everybody should know what their VPG is. And if you don't set expectations and measurement systems, then again, you have no way to improve. So again, in this assessment, you're going to be able to really assess your sales and see where you are. So make sure you use it. So here's a couple of tools members have access to. It's what we call a daily volume calculator. And your guest relations team should be filling this out for you on a daily basis to know whether we are on target, above target, or let's get our stuff together and move. Keep going. Do something. So it's a great tool that has the whole year on it. It has tabs on the bottom, January, February, March, and you set your goals for the year by month, and then daily your team can go in and just plug in the information. And I have high achievers. I love to see what they're doing on daily basis, so a lot of them actually send that to us to see where they are. But if you don't have a scorecard, how are you going to keep your eye on the ball and make sure that your team is doing what they need to be doing? It's very important. Gotta do it. And then you have to really make sure that you're monitoring and then coaching and training to improve as needed. Make sense? Yeah. Okay, so the next thing is assessing your team skills and value. So I told you earlier, you shouldn't look at your team as a cost, but a value, because you have to look at it this way. Each team member needs to be producing something that you really need them to produce on a per minute or per hour basis. And if they're not producing, then they are a cost. And you can't afford to have employees as a cost. That's not why we hire people. We're not just a nonprofit giving people jobs and paying them for not doing their jobs. So they've got to perform. They have to bring in value to the business. So how do we do that? So you need to train them. You gotta train them just like they do again in sports teams. It's training, it's boot camp, it's studying, just like Dr. Omani did. They put them into an 8-week program. That's serious. It's serious. So you gotta assign a training module. So as a member, you have access to all the training modules. So you need to assign these modules to your team. They need to go study them. And then you need to come back and have this conversation with them about what they learned, what were their takeaways, and how are we going to implement that in the business. But if you don't do that, unless they're really driven and motivated on their own, they're not going to do it.
Dory, we have
Yes.
a question
Yes.
for new spa, people that are looking into opening a new medical spa. When you're setting your goals and your amounts for like retail sales versus your treatment sales, how do you get those numbers and come up with the amount that you want to set for the goals?
So that's a great question. That's what we do with the business plan. If you're a brand new person opening up, you must have a business plan. And in your business plan, we do all your forecasting for you for the first 5 years, so you can see what your break-even point is and then what you need to do to go beyond that break-even point, how you can grow the business. But if you don't have a business plan, by the way, we provide those for clients. You can call our office and we'll be more than happy to do one for you. But if you don't have a business plan or you're not planning on doing one, then we have a very simple tool called the capacity calculator that you can go ahead and plug in the number of rooms that you have or you want to have in the business. And then you can forecast the capacity that you want to operate at. So if you're brand new, you might start at 15% capacity, 20% capacity, and it will actually calculate for you how much revenue you can generate. So if you want to set up, I don't know whether they're a member or not. If you're a member, you can do that all through the financial tools that we have. Excuse me. If you're not a member, you can always set up a coaching call and we can help you, or just sign up for the business plan. Either way, but that's a great question. Forecasting is very important. It's really important for everybody, because even if you've been in business, you gotta forecast your new year. And that's why we're doing this, right? Yeah, so if anybody has any other questions, please submit them and we'll be answering them. So to scale up with the team, you need to really identify how much should each team player bring in for you. That's very important. So if it's an injector, how much should they produce for you on an annual basis? And how much are you paying them? If it's a guest relations, how much are you paying them and how much are they producing for you? So you really need to know the value of each team member and know exactly what they're bringing to the table. If they're not bringing value, what do? Make the change. Make the change. So I don't want you to look at the team as a cost. The team really is an investment in your business. And if they're good team members, you're going to get a good return on your investment. If they're a bad team member, then you're at a loss. So they're not a cost if they're producing. And that's why you need a scorecard. If you don't have a scorecard, you don't know whether they're producing or not. So you're going to give somebody 3 months to get their stuff together. But after 3 months, if they're still not producing, and you're not seeing initiative, and you're not seeing drive and passion and commitment, then yes, it's the wrong person. So you need to make some hard decisions sometimes, but you've got to. So we have 2 other Excel spreadsheets to help you with that. One of them is you really need to know the revenue per hour that they're actually bringing in, right? So if you're paying them X amount per hour, how much are they really bringing you per hour? And you can do it by position. Again, this is the team member's name under here. You have the number of hours that they worked, number of treatments that they did, what capacity are they actually working, how busy are they? Let's say they're at 75% capacity. They brought in $6,300. So the revenue per hour that they're generating is $63. So if they're bringing in $63, but they're an injector and you're paying them $50 an hour, that means this person is not making you any money and you're at a loss. It's important to have scorecards. We have all these tools for you. As a member, those are all available for you. So you need to use them. And that should be, again, part of your assessment of where you are for the year. Who should you keep? Who do you need to replace? Who needs more training? Your who on your team is very important. So you really need to take advantage of that. And then the daily VPG per team member. Those 2 scorecards are very, very important. And if you're not managing them, then you're going to miss out. So you don't want to do that. So the VPG one, this should be posted in the team lounge, because all of you should have a VPG target by team member, right? Let's say for an injector, it's $750 a client. Then you need to really post it daily. How many clients did I have? Let's say 4. I generated $3,000 in service revenue. My VPG was $750. My retail volume was $250. And so my retail VPG is $62. Now that's a good provider. So a VPG of $750 for service and a VPG of retail of $62, that's good. But you know what? If you don't post it, the good is not going to get better because, hey, I'm doing great. And the ones that are doing bad, they're going to say, oh my gosh, I better get my together. But if we don't talk about numbers, if we don't post the numbers, if we're not paying attention to the scorecard, then they're going to show up to work, go get their coffee. What do I have for the day? Mosey around, talk to this one and talk to that one. That's not scaling.
We have another question from a Ready to Fly member that is starting a new business. Her question is, how do I get help developing a business plan?
So again, we do business plans for people as a product. So if she wants a business plan, she can. Or what she needs really is to do the budget, the forecasting. So she needs, if she's a member, she needs to go to the financial modules. And there you'll be able to get all your financials in order. And then really just set up a coaching call with one of us, and we'll be able to guide you on what you need to do first, second, and third. So it's all a matter of implementing the business model. That's really your plan, is implementing the model I was showing you earlier. So you might want to call our office and let us guide you a little bit more through MedSpa Biz University. All right, so this is the video I was telling you about. It's on YouTube under Raving Fans. So I interviewed Brooke and Dr. Omani about their success and how they were able to achieve it for the past 3 years. So I would highly recommend you go watch it. It's very inspiring, it's very motivational. And again, if they can do it in a small little town, so can you. So if you have a will, and there is a way, definitely. So if you have your what, your who, and how. So who and how, that's how you do it. So are you guys ready to scale? Woohoo! I'm ready to help you scale. This is a good start, right? Yes. Okay, so what do we do? Next step. Well, it really all starts with a commitment. You need to make a commitment to be a student again, because to become better, you have to learn. So I'm leaving on Wednesday to Las Vegas for my mastermind meeting that I just paid $50,000 for to go to 2 meetings. So you have to invest in yourself. So I want to congratulate all the members here for investing in themselves. And if you're not, you really need to, because if you don't make a commitment to be a student and really learn how to run a business, then you're not going to succeed. You're going to wing it. You're going to try things. They might work, they may not. Why waste time? So you need a proven, effective model, and you need a commitment to education. You need to block time on your calendar for studying time. And if you're not going to do it, then you better get the who is going to help you do it, and they need to sit down and be a student. So those are really your options. So if you just want to be the entrepreneurs, the entrepreneur is fine with me. That's where I'm going. But if you really want to learn and become better, you have to commit to studying. It really does take a commitment. So once you do that, conduct your assessment. Find out the areas of improvement that you need to make. And then forecast and plan. Come up with your financial forecast. And then plan your marketing and plan your sales. And really take time to train your team. And when you do that, when you implement the business model that I'm talking about and the strategies that we teach you on a monthly basis, then there's no reason for you why you can't scale and grow. None. Zero. We have some more questions here.
We have another question. We are located in a seasonal town, super busy in the summer and dies out in the winter. Do you have a plan to help in this type of situation?
Yeah, you need a membership. That way they can keep accumulating money, and when they come back, they can have all the treatments they want. That's what a membership is all about. It's a model to protect you against any disruption. As a matter of fact, that's how all of our members were able to just glide through the pandemic, is because they had all memberships. They did not go out of business like many other medical spas because of the membership model. So you really need to have that in place and come up with a way for them to just continue paying you, and when they come back, they can have all the treatments that they want. Yes?
Our next question is, I need help closing leads that come in.
Yes, we have a system for that. So, are you a member? Is she a member or he?
Not yet.
Okay, so we have a program exactly on how to teach your guest relations team to take a lead and turn it into a consultation, take a lead and turn it into a treatment appointment, take a lead and turn them into a member. That's what I'm talking about with the sales center. That's what we teach all the time, is how to convert those leads into sales. And it really takes scripting, it takes training of the team, it takes outgoing calls, it takes call management when the calls actually come in, on how to take them through the process, through the conversation, through building relationship to get them to become a member or a client walking in. So it's all doable, you guys. Everything is doable. That's That's how people succeed. But again, if you don't have the formula for it, then you're going to sit there and have to write the training yourself, test it, make sure it works. It's so time consuming. Then you have to train the team. And that's why we help so many people succeed, is because we basically deliver everything for you on a silver platter and say, here, go. All you have to do is study it, implement it, and voila, here's the results. So become a member. Call us up. All right. Do we have any more questions?
Are there certain memberships for all medspas? I'm sorry.
Memberships that you offer your clients, or the memberships that we offer?
Her question is, are there certain memberships to start with? Do you have like a model or something to help her get started with building a membership?
Oh, of course. It's called the copy system. We have a model for everything. Yes, we take you actually step by step how to create the membership, how to present it to your team to gain buy-in, and then how to teach your team how to enroll members into it. So it's a 3-part program. If you go to inspirationmanagement.com, right in the shop, it's called the Copy System, COPIE, and it can take you step by step. If you are a member, you have access to it on medspa Biz University. You don't have to buy it. Please do not buy it if you're a member, because you have access to everything. But yeah, listen, I've been doing this for 22 years. We have perfected the best business strategies available. If you truly implement what we teach you, you can't help but succeed. But we're very picky about who we work with. We want to work with people like Dr. Omani, people who are driven, they want to take action, they want to study, they want to implement. Those people excite me. But I'm not in business to just take people's money that are not going to do anything with it. That's not what we're about. I'm all about education. So whenever somebody gives us a challenge, we don't just come up with a solution. We come up with a system for it. Because when you have a system, you have growth, you have accuracy, you have consistency. And that's really what you want. Because if you don't have that, then one day you do it this way, and then the other day we do it that way. I get upset sometimes, because it's like when I see people not following the structure, it's like, why? Why are you trying to reinvent the wheel? We have spent over 22 years perfecting it. Don't mess with it. Just take it and plug it in. Go watch that interview. That's all you need to do, frankly. Just do it. Follow the model. You'll have success. That's what we do.
Okay, Dory, Yvonne is asking, do you recommend call centers for all medspas?
Absolutely. That's exactly what we talked about in our last mastermind meeting, and I'm actually coming up with a program specifically for call centers. As a matter of fact, one of our number one clients is Denise Dubois. She's up in New York. She has 2 locations, Albany and Saratoga. She has 100 employees. Yes, 10,000 square feet locations. And she has a call center. And when you have a call center, that's your sales center. So you have, again, those incoming calls, outgoing calls. You have a team on the phone all day long. That's what they're doing. They're generating sales for you. Absolutely. I'm all about it. We have a call center here, Inspiration Management. We have people calling all the leads that we generate. As a matter of fact, if you're not a member and you're on with me today, you're going to get a call from my call center asking you to reserve a success planning session. That's how you generate revenue. That's how you transform people's lives. You do it by helping them look better. We do it by helping you implement a successful business model. So it's all the same. It's all the same stuff. So you definitely need a call center. And that's really one of the biggest things I see missing all the time, you guys, in our industry, is focus on sales and a focus on marketing. And you gotta focus on these 2 things to really be successful. And if you don't have an internal marketing person yet, because my number one complaint from all of our members I speak with all the time is I'm paying thousands of dollars to marketing companies and I'm not getting the results. So what Dr. Omani did, he hired Parker. I love Parker. Parker is their marketing person internally. And they do amazing things with their marketing department. Between Brooke, the manager, and Parker, you have to see how they show up to my calls. They have an agenda. They have the results of what they did last month, what they're going to do this month. They share with me their marketing strategy so I can give them insight. These people have their shit together. They're like rocking it. Why can't everybody do the same thing? You gotta listen and apply. Seriously, you guys. It's amazing. When you do that, you too will have a $3, $4, $5 million location. But you gotta apply. If you don't apply the content that we teach, then you're gonna be the average. The average medical spa, according to the latest study, did like 1.2 million a year. That sucks. 1 million is nothing. That's like 100,000 in profits. You're really gonna take all the risk, the pressure, the tension, the frustrations for 100,000 a year? Go get a job. Why be in business? No. I want everybody in our community to generate $3, $4, $5 million. When you do that, then you're getting what you need out of your business. Yes?
Do you advise to share pricing on phone?
No. No. You want everything to be customized. And again, that's part of the guest relations training that we teach. If somebody just calling for a price, then there's a phrase that we use to take them off of that. Are you looking for price or are you looking for expertise? Because if you're looking for price, we're not the least expensive. But if you're looking for expertise, you're calling the right place. And let me tell you why. That's the phrase that we teach. So we have all the answers for you, you guys. You just have to, again, dig into the material that you have access to. And if you're a member, you have it all right there for you. It's just a matter of studying again, making that commitment, and the team studying. And if you're not, then you really need to be. So if you're not a member, I'd like to invite you to reserve a success planning session. This gave you a little taste of what we teach members and all the tools that we provide. So it's not just teaching, it's teaching and providing the tools. It really does take both to really succeed. Because if you have to go and figure out the tools, that's gonna take you forever to figure it out. So I'd like to go to, you can go to inspirationmanagement.com. Right there on the home page, you can see success planning session. You can just go ahead and reserve it, and my team can sit down with you and go over some of the information to help you become a member or tap into some of the other a la carte tools that we have. So I'm out of time because I have to go do another webinar now. That one is open. If you're a member, you really don't need to attend it because it's a promotional webinar for the Leap Ahead seminar that's coming up. I'm gonna go over some of the content that we share at the Leap Ahead. So, but if you are a member, if you have any questions, please feel free to email us or call the office. We are always here for you to help you in any way we can. And if we're using the same Zoom link for both, are we using the same Zoom link? Are we using the same Zoom link?
No, there's another link.
Okay, so I'm gonna sign off here for all the members. Say again, I wish you a great year. Let's go ahead and scale up and grow as much as possible. And I will see you next month for another Brewing Brilliance event. Thank you so much. Happy New Year.